When you're just starting out, should you take the time to form an LLC? We'll talk about some of the pros and cons in this video. An LLC is just one option that you can choose from. You don't have to form an LLC. You can just start business on your own and have everything under your own name. Or you might, instead of forming an LLC, want to choose something like an S Corp, or maybe you want to incorporate. Really, there's a lot of choices, and it's important that you understand all of those choices and make the decision that's right for you. Over 80% of businesses are actually LLCs in the United States, so that is by far the largest and most popular choice that people will make. Now, before we dive into this, I want to make something very clear. I am not an attorney, nor am I a tax professional. So anything that I say is simply my opinion, and I'm just sharing with you the information that I've researched and the things that I've done personally in my business. One of the most common things that people do when they form an online business is to create an LLC. That's something that I've personally chosen to do. An LLC to me made the most sense. It was a reasonable option when it came to expenses, and it offers me a little bit more of the peace of mind knowing that if something were to happen with my business, that I have a little bit more protection knowing that my business is actually a business and it's not just me doing something on my own. One of the biggest advantages of LLCs and corporations in general is that it provides its members liability protection. That means if something were to happen to your business, the LLC is responsible for outstanding debts and judgments, not you personally. So that's one of the biggest reasons why, if you're looking at starting your own business, you should seriously consider forming an LLC or another corporation type. Another advantage to having an LLC is that there's less paperwork to file if it's an LLC versus a business that's incorporated. Typically, you can do this on your own, and the costs are really reasonable. The rules around forming an LLC tend to vary from state to state, though, so it's important that you check with your state, the state that you live in, as to what the rules and the requirements are for forming an LLC, as well as what paperwork is involved. One way that you can make that process easier, and this is something that I personally chose to do, is to use another third party to file all the paperwork for you. In my case, I used a company called InkFile. So inkfile.com, and I'll leave a link in the description below to the website. Inkfile.com not only will help you form your LLC by asking all the questions that are needed in order to generate the paperwork, but they'll actually file the paperwork for you. So for me, I found it was a really nice option, and it made it a lot more convenient to make sure that I had the extra protection and I went the extra step of forming an LLC instead of just doing everything on my own as an independent consultant or as a freelancer, and really put a legal entity behind the business that I'm building. So for me, I wanted to make sure that was done. I wanted to make sure that was done properly. So I wanted to leave it to some experts to make sure everything was filed the correct way. So you might be thinking, okay, that sounds great. I'm going to form an LLC. But there are some disadvantages and some other things that you need to consider before you go through the process of starting an LLC on your own. One is there are specific legal requirements that have to be met depending on your state, so it's important to become familiar with your specific state requirements. A great resource and a way to find out would be to go to your state website and look up information on starting an LLC or search for information on forming a corporation within that state. Usually the states provide thorough information because they want people like us to start businesses and provide additional revenue and income into the state economy. Another disadvantage of forming an LLC is that, as opposed to another corporation type, the income from the LLC is actually passed on to its members as personal income. Since that's the case, you might end up paying a higher tax rate than you would if you were to form a corporation. Again, these are things that you have to consider when you go through the process and make sure that the type of business that you're forming is right for you. One thing I'd love to know is, what questions do you all have? What things might I be able to help you with that maybe you're struggling with or that you have a specific question on? If you have anything like that, please leave me a comment below and I will answer it as soon as I can. Also, if you found this video helpful, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to The Cloud CEO, because on this channel, I'm sharing with you my journey in escaping the 9-to-5, and I share with you my experiences as to what it takes to get out of the rat race and get on to living the life that we all dream about. All right, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.